Hey, gonna pick up right where we left off. I haven't left my seat since the last time you saw me, but this will probably be like a week in the future from when I'm recording this. At any rate, I just want to recap where we left off. We took that absolutely beautiful, stunning white pine log that was 34 inches in diameter on the large end, 24 inches or so on the small end. We cut that into a square timber. I believe it was 20 inches wide by 18.25 inches deep. And we're gonna go into my process for turning that into a bunch of 2x8s by 16 foot long. So the rest of this video is going to be turning that square cant into a bunch of dimensional lumber. And I'll catch up with you on the back end of this video to show you what everything looks like at the tail end when it's all stacked and stickered and ready to go. I am running a couple of weeks behind making those timbers, so they've actually been sitting and drying for, I think, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks now. They're doing wonderful, they're doing fantastic. And I've been milling up a bunch of beams and stuff too. So anywho, let's get into this video. I'll stop rambling. All right, sorry for the wind out here, but it's what we got to work with. I want to take a moment and talk strategy with you. So I've got now an absolutely enormous square timber, or cant, of this white pine. It measures 20 inches in this dimension and 18.25 inches in this dimension. So what that means is I can take this and I can slice off a 2-inch. So I went 18.25 for a reason. I want 2 8-inch slabs, more or less. Okay, so I'll be able to do that. What that means is 2 8-inch with an 1/8 inch for the kerf means I need 16 1/8. And then when I made that last cut, I took a look at it and knew I could get another 2-inch slab out of this. So in order to do that, I needed to add another 1/8 inch for the kerf here. So the total dimension here needed to be 18.25. That was intentional. So at this point, when I make my 2-inch cut, I'll have 16 1/8 inch left. And I'll make a cut at the 8-inch mark from the bottom, and then I'll have 2 8-inch slabs that are 20 inches wide. 20 inches wide. So come with me over to my measuring stick. All right. I've got my measuring stick set up back here. Boy, it is hard to see. All right, so up there is where the bunks are at the stop. So I got 2 inches from the bottom is where my 8/4 or 2-inch, right? So 8/4 is 2. So if I come all the way down here to 20, all right, you see I don't have an 8-inch anywhere. Let me lift this up so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, didn't quite have enough, so 21 1/16 would have gotten me another 8-inch slab. So I'm not gonna get that. I'm at 20, I need to make a cut at about 19 inches, so there'll be a 1-inch off cut on that top. I'm gonna be able to get from 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 2-inch thick boards. All right, so I got written here. It is hard to see. 9 2-inch thick boards with a 1-inch offcut. Okay, off of here. I'm going to take and make my 1-inch cut here to get rid of some of this wane on this. I'll make my 2-inch cut here to get rid of some more and hopefully eliminate as much of that wane as possible from my 8-inch timbers, which I need to be good, like close to perfect, because they're going to be part of the roof system. And then with any luck, either this will just be a big fat 2-inch thick 20-inch wide slab for me to do whatever with, which would be enjoyable, or I can take and cut like an 8-inch slice out of here, so I'll get 18 2x8s and possibly a 19 2x8-inch by 16 feet long is what I should get out of it. And the only timber that'll probably be questionable is going to be this last corner piece here. I might not have much of a nailing edge there, so that piece might get cut into a, you know, 8-foot or whatever that ends up being, 9-foot 2x8, and then this could be turned into like a 2x6 or something. Anyway, I'm not gonna let anything go to waste. I've saved a whole bunch of stuff over here because I'm a woodworker at heart. It's beyond difficult to throw anything away, but I think this thing has a ton of good meat on it here, and this will be fun to put some like Windsor style, just drill some holes in it and some legs with some stretchers on it, and just turn this into like an outdoor table. Once it dries up a little bit, I've got this. It's like a 2-inch thick slab that's like live edge and kind of wonky. I need to pull off all the live edge, the bark off of that. That can be turned into another like tabletop or a couple. And then this thing, I think from here to about somewhere in this area, so that's all of like 5 or so feet, that can get cut and that can also be turned into like a tabletop. It's not really like this side here. Looks like I could get a nice like 2-inch thick cut out of it, but down here you can see before too long, maybe like 2 feet, it tapers down to almost nothing. So yeah, we'll just have fun with this, right? Use as much as possible, pay our homage and tribute to this beautiful tree. It's white pine, so it's somewhat rot resistant with all the pitch in there. If I put some finish on it and take off all of this bark, it could sit outside for ages without much other than just some upkeep. So we'll play with that later. Let's go cut that thing up the rest of the way. Let me know if you do anything different, if you got any other ideas. But as I was cutting that down, to me, that's going to produce the most usable timber. Anywho, let's get to work. I'm going to bring you down lower for this set of cuts. I'm going to put some emulsified wax paint, aka anchor seal, on here. Seal up everything. Give it the best chance of producing full-length check-free timbers. The goal of this stuff is to really just cake it on there. Let it fill up all the pores. And it seals up the ends, because this is where all the moisture escapes from first. So if you slow down how quickly the moisture escapes the wood, prevents checking or cracking. And usually it starts on this end first. So if you're not familiar with the mechanism, as the moisture leaves, it leaves the outside faster than the center. So as this essentially shrinks faster than the inside, you get this cracking out here and splitting down into the pith. So if you slow down the rate at which moisture is trying to leave the log, and it all tries to shrink uniformly, or as close to uniformly as possible, then in theory, you shouldn't have any checks or natural cracking in your lumber. And here we are. It's been a couple of weeks since the videos were shot, finally getting all this edited. And this is the final bits. So I'll give you another tour of the log yard because it has been a little bit since we've talked. I've got a bunch of 10x12s, some 10x10s, some material for my braces. I do have all of my 2x6s, 2x4s there. I have 8x10s, 4x8s, and I have 8x6s, so roof rafters, main beams, structure for walls and whatnot. So the pile of wood is growing wonderfully. We're making fantastic progress. But what we're here to talk about is this pile right here, and I'll turn you around, see what we got. Here we go. So this is most of the remnants of that pine log, plus a few of some hemlock that I've done since I milled up the pine log. So again, it's been a few weeks. So I have 25. I got 25 2x8 by 16 foot long pieces from that one pine log, the two sections. These with the darker ends are some hemlock that I had sitting around, the same stuff that the 2x6s are out of, and I milled those up. I got 9 more out of that, and I've got 1 more log that I need to mill up, and I do believe that I'll have everything to do my roof structure now. So I have everything to do my interior walls, everything to do my roof structure, and everything to do my exterior wall framing between the timbers. And then now I gotta really focus on getting all of these stacks finalized. I've got my drawing almost done. So now I have a really good idea of what the joinery looks like for this house. I have a really much better understanding of the sizes of timbers and everything that I need to make this house work and work well and last for a long time. So my confidence level is much higher than it used to be even a few weeks ago. And now it's just time to cut. It's time to cut this maple. It's time to get it stacked up and get as ready as I can be for the spring. When I can get out here, attack this joinery, get this frame raised, and get our house built. It's starting to come together. We're really making some good progress. My cover fell off of this. That's not good. I'm gonna go ahead and stack that back up, get it locked down. So, anywho, thank you so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. To future me, this was one hell of a crazy project to take on. Right now, you're having very conflicted feelings about whether or not you should have done this, but future me, I'm pretty confident, is going to be very grateful that you did. Yeah, I've got another video in the works that goes through cutting some of these bigger timbers, my process for going through that, some of the limitations that I have with maple, and why those limitations are there. Probably why you don't see as many maple frames as I would have initially thought. It's a really strong wood, but I'll talk about all that in the video. I'm not going to spoil it here. We'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. See you around.